The Trumpet Daily from Jerusalem.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Trumpet Daily. Today I'm reporting from Kiryat Malachi, Israel, at the site of a deadly Grad rocket attack earlier today. This week, as you know, Israel launched a wide-scale military operation in Gaza called Operation Pillar of Defense. The Hebrew phrase there refers to the pillar cloud that led the Israelites through their exodus from Egypt. The operation commenced on Wednesday afternoon with a surprise airstrike in Gaza that killed Hamas's chief military commander, Ahmed Jabari. Besides spearheading numerous terrorist attacks over the years against Israel, Jabari is responsible for the capturing of IDF Sergeant Gilad Shalit. He has long been on the top of Israel's most wanted list. Arutz Sheva reported earlier, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Ehud Barak appear to have purposely diverted attention away from Gaza by visiting northern Israel and publicly discussing the Syrian threat on Wednesday in order to make it easier to catch Hamas off guard. Using tank shells, airstrikes, and naval fire, the IDF has continued its bombardment on over 100 terror targets in Gaza. The IAF has also struck down over 20 launch silos, many of which contained long-range rockets that are capable of striking Tel Aviv and other central Israeli cities. Now, in response, Hamas has declared war, basically, saying that Israel has opened the gates of hell on itself. Following yesterday's airstrike, Israel's southern cities have been bombarded by more than 200 rockets. 3 people in the apartment just behind me were killed this morning, and also an 8-month-old baby was injured. So this has been the primary spot that took the most damage, and you can see all the news media gathering around across the street. Now, of course, many reports will say these attacks are in response to Israel's Pillar of Defense operation, but before Israel acted in self-defense, it was actually Hamas that had been itching for a fight by ramping up its barrage of rocket fire in recent weeks. Now, before the Arab Spring, if you go back a couple of years, in 2010, Hamas fired 231 rockets into Israel over the course of that entire year. It was a pretty quiet year, relatively speaking. And then last year, that number nearly tripled to 627. So far this year, the rocket attacks are somewhere around 900 now and counting. 3 weeks ago, Hamas launched 79 rockets just on one day, and this was the day after the Emir of Qatar visited the Hamas representatives in Gaza, and that marked the first time that a national leader had ever landed in Gaza since the Hamas takeover in 2007. Now, at the same time of that attack, or the day after it, Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi said this. He said, "We cannot rest or relax if we see our Palestinian brothers and sisters attacked, blockaded, and cornered." So, leading up to Israel's Pillar of Defense, Hamas was clearly feeling pretty good about itself. As Yaakov Lapin wrote this morning in the Jerusalem Post, he said, "With Hamas feeling confident over the ascendancy of its fellow Islamists in the region, the emergence of a new patron in Cairo, it and Islamic Jihad chipped away at Israeli deterrence, attempting to set new rules by preventing the IDF from carrying out vital security missions on the Gaza border." Now that Israel has responded powerfully by pounding terrorist targets down in Gaza, Lapin believes Hamas might have overplayed its hand, mistaking Israel's restraint these past many months for weakness. Now, that might be true on the part of mistaking Israel and not thinking that Israel would act, but really the much bigger concern here, looking at it from Israel's perspective, is how Egypt, not Gaza, not Hamas, but how Egypt reacts to this conflict. Yesterday, President Morsi recalled Egypt's ambassador to Israel in protest against Israel's military operation, and then added to this Egypt's Freedom and Justice Party. That's the party that Morsi came out of, the political wing of the Muslim Brotherhood. That it threatened to get involved in this conflict if Israel doesn't stop killing the terrorists down in Gaza. According to a statement released by that organization, the Brotherhood said they will not allow Palestinians to be subjected to Israeli aggression as in the past. Now, based on a prophecy in Psalm 83, we've been telling you that Hamas will eventually break away from the Iranian-Egyptian camp, and this latest escalation of fighting between Israel and Gaza may well lead to that. But this conflict will also drive a much bigger wedge between Egypt and Israel, meaning there will be bigger battles ahead for the little nation of Israel. This is Stephen Flurry reporting from Kiryat Malachi in southern Israel.